Tadā draṣṭuḥ svarūpe'vasthānam. Tadā draṣṭuḥ svarūpe'vasthānam. So many issues going on, so many problems. Not only now, for many, many centuries. The problem is because of this one word, svarūpa. What is this svarūpa? What is the meaning of this svarūpa? You may not aware or you may not notice. In the society, the whole world is fighting for the meaning of this word. What is this seer's nature? What is the reality of this seer? If he is abiding in his own self, what is that? But when we are studying, we are straight away jumping into some conclusion. Various explanation, various definitions are given for this one word. You may follow any religion, any tradition. Any god. They are all differing on this aspect. Every religion says, love yourself, love others. Do good, be good. Serve others. Don't be greedy. Work hard. Be responsible. If you look at any tradition, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Sikhism, Jews, you name any tradition, any religion, they are all speaking the same language. Almost. But where is the issue? The definition of this svarūpa. One person says, you are different. This nature of this svarūpa is different. One person says, yes, you are different. Eventually, you will reach this person. One person says, all are same. Other person says, it's nothing, empty. Shunyata. You may follow any religion. Like many things given by our parents and family members, then the society, we just accept and start to follow. The eating habit. The way we do our day-to-day activities. Rights and wrongs, do's and don'ts. You can see that all given by parents, then family members, society. So within that 15 years of our childhood, that life already set us, molded us. We were not only learning about how to eat, what to eat, also various things of daily life. We learned about this concept of who is above us. What we have to do, what we have to practice. In the name of spiritual practice, in the name of religion, whatever the God, whatever the practice. It's given already. At least this generation, now we are reviewing, right? At least from the few past generations. We are reviewing, we are looking into that, we are questioning, and we are trying to understand. But like other habits, like other practice, this concept of God or the rituals, religious practices, very strongly set within us. We don't simply question that. Many reasons. Family practice, society pressure, your own love, your own belief. The reason may be anything. But actually, what is the answer? What is the message from this whole tradition and practice is nothing but the definition of svarūpa. From where it has come? We can see that for every spiritual practice or every religion, there is certain source, there is certain sacred book, there is a master, or the names or custom rituals practice given to do certain things. So we believe because it's given by our beloved parents and friends, and we started to do practice certain way or other. Then if you are emotionally connected with that, obviously the intelligence won't work. On top of that, when the belief is strong, and that belief comes with the fear, that's where the whole practice bringing a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of challenges for the whole humanity. So we can't simply go aside from this definition. The seer is abiding in his own self, in his own nature. What is that nature? That's where these whole differences come. Now, there are yoga teachers, also many books also saying, you just follow your religion, and this practice is something for the body, mind, breath. It's a different thing. Even though we can separate it, but the fundamental question, what we supposed to ask is, what is this reality? What is this truth? Right? It may be not your question now. You may have that, but not really want to pursue now. That's fine. But let us look into this way. If every religion, every masters are giving the definition or explaining their experience, how this one question, what is the nature of this seer or this svarūpa, how come they are all giving different answers? If you are emotionally connected with your practice, religion, you just ask yourself, any religion, if it is about the truth, how it is different from this region to other region, this country to that country, and this time to that time. you can see like how human conditions are evolved. Whatever the history we have, 3,000 years back or 4,000 years back, from there, whatever we know, whatever we see, the concept of God, the masters or various religions, whatever the definition is given, there is certain kind of evolution. Of course, currently the religious practice is going down. Now the whole world is following only one religion. All the gods are replaced. Any kind of religion doesn't matter. All are replaced by one God. You know already, right? Which one? Money. You can see in every religion. Top priority to do that. To get that. That is the success. If you get enough money, you will get the direct ticket to heaven. That's why the whole value system is in a way collapsing or in a mess. So, whatever the religious practice is happening, whatever you are doing, look into that, question yourself, and see the connection with your interest, thought process, and action. Not only religious practice, when it comes to yoga practice also, the aim is to know what is the nature of this seer, what is the svarūpa of this seer. So when we do asana practice, pranayama practice, meditation practice, or when we are exploring various definitions, teachings of all the so-called sacred books, that's what we need to look into that. Then we are able to relate this sutra. Then our direction is clear. Our path is more leading us towards the destination which we are clear where we want to go. We don't get deviated. The emotional attachment of any tradition, of any religious practice, any master, is one of the famous saying of Buddha. along the path of self-realization, along the path of knowing the truth, if you see me, if I am in front of you, kill me and move ahead. Why? Your practice may be stronger, dedicated, focused, but clinging on, holding on to a particular tradition, practice, or master, or God, that itself will become an obstacle. Not now, when you are in that point, maybe even now also, you only know. So what we want to hear when we are studying within ourselves also, the thought process, what we are hearing, what we are thinking, the destination is there. I want to know the reality of this seer. Why? Because I am able to differentiate with the body, with the breath, with the mind, but still I am not able to know the so-called I. The nature of seeing person. The potential of this awareness. And you can see that the whole Yoga Sutra, it will keep going back to that, to explain that. Excuse me. So, when we study, when we practice, that practice should lead towards this destination. And that's what eventually, not only yoga, in other tradition also, because the promise is that is the solution for all the challenges. So when we are going into further explanations, further definitions, and we can see that how we can relate with that, how we can connect with that. Because after this, we are going to explore in detail about these various thought process, the modifications of the mind, the fluctuations of the mind. What is the source? Why these fluctuations happening? What is the nature of it? Again and again, through various sutras, the explanation is given on vṛttis, these thought process, these fluctuations of the mind. That leads to the next sutra, vṛttayah panchatayah, klishta aklishtaha. The modifications, the fluctuations happening on the mind. We saw before, right? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Cessation of this thought process, the fluctuations of the mind. And these fluctuations, these modifications happening in the mind field, they are 5 times, 5 kinds, fivefold. Panchatayyaga. Pancha means 5. And these fivefold modifications, klishta aklishta, painful, klishta, aklishta, not painful. We can literally take fivefold painful modifications and other fivefold non-painful, not painful modifications. Any kind of thought process. Your background may be anything, your cultural background, religious background, country-wise, anything. It may be anything. But fivefold. Painful is not just thought coming and going. That thought, 5 different types, painful 5 times. And not painful 5 times. So naturally we get this question, really? Then my nuts and fruit chocolate, that thought process, that eating, that enjoying, is it not joyful, pleasant? Where is that category? How about my mango ice cream? How about my time with beloved ones? So many joyful moments in everybody's life, right? Where that category is gone. How come only these 2 categories? Painful, not painful. Any kind of thought will be accommodated within this fivefold? Yes, that's what Patañjali says. Now when we are studying that, when we are listening and when we are examining that, then we need to go through all our experiences and need to check. Is there anything more than this fivefold? You know, this, if probably 2000 years old, Yoga Sutra, there are a lot of things happened already, right? A lot of changes happened. The whole world is exploding. The evolution is constantly happening in robust ways. Technologically, we are really moving fast. So much further advancements done already. Many new inventions, discoveries. The whole lifestyle is changed. Still within these fivefold, can we accommodate whatever happening with our thought process? That's what we need to explore. We need to check. Probably you may get something different. You don't know. But so far, in those various commentaries, there are these commentaries also written at various period. We have 600, 700 years old commentaries, recent commentaries. So far, there is no the sixth one, the sixth type, which we will study. What are that 5 types? He says, vṛttayah pañchatayah. These modifications, these thought process, 5-fold. Klishta, aklishta. Painful, not painful. Then he is explaining that in the next sutra. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayah. That is the sutra. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayah. We will study about it in detail. Just literal meaning, let us try to understand that. Pramana, right knowledge. Viparyaya, we can say wrong knowledge. Though there is more than that, more meaning than that. But we just try to connect, understand this way. Pramana, right knowledge. Viparyaya, wrong knowledge. Vikalpa, imagination, something fanciful. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa. The next one is very interesting. Nidra, sleep. Is bringing the sleep also in the modification of the mind. The 5th one is smriti, smritayah, smriti. Remembering, memory. These are all the 5-fold modifications happening within the mind field. We have to move away from this. We have to go in, we have to stop this, getting into the zone where these modifications are not happening. And these 5-fold modifications, they are painful and not painful. To understand these 5-fold modifications of the mind, the changes of the mind, and how it is painful, how it is not painful, what happens to my pleasures, my pleasant experience, where it comes, where it fits. And the following sutras, also in the 2nd chapter, the other sutras, they are all linking, they are all connecting. What the focus is to really scrutinize, inquire, explore, dissect whatever happening within our mind field. It's not just thought process, the memory, intelligence, all this, all the faculties of the mind. So in coming sessions, we will explore that in detail. Even just when we take pramana, what is that right knowledge? We need to really look into different examples and also the experience based on that. Whatever the different masters given, from there we can take some examples. And the same right knowledge, how it is painful and how it is not painful. When we look into that way, plus our own experience related with that. Whatever we see, even if it is not our own experience. Because that's where this pramana comes. How do we know? How do we understand? How do we receive this knowledge? Then when we go into every definition, every sutra, then it will go there. Tadā, draṣṭuḥ, svarūpe'vasthānam. Then we can slowly, it will unfold, then we can understand what is the nature of this seer. I observe, I see things. What is the definition of this I? Whatever my understanding of this so-called I, slowly take us to other perception, different perception. Not just I'm saying something you are hearing. When you are relating with your own experience, you will see. Asana practice, the meditation, pranayama, it's all for that purpose. So if you have that interest, strong interest on that destination, then when you sit for meditation, when you sit for pranayama, it is not just about getting some information, getting some technique. You seek yourself. You inquire yourself. For all the painful experience, all the anxiety, agitation, fear, anger, strong attachment, for all these problems, the solution is knowing the reality of this seer. Why we are angry? Why we are in fear? Why we are worrying so much about tomorrow? Why we are worrying especially about the people nearby? Because we don't know the reality of ourselves. We are not able to see the complete picture of that, or even slightly bigger picture of what we are seeing now. Our attachment with the body is stronger. Our attachment with the near and dear ones is even stronger. Knowing very well nothing is permanent, but still the desire is there to keep things forever. Just we get into some fear of tomorrow, which doesn't have any value. That fear may not come true all the time, but because of our connection with our body, connection with the so-called mind, and we get got within that small trap. It's a very small trap actually. We don't want to really move away from that, so got hold of it, and every day worrying for the problems which never exist. That's why straight away the definitions are given and he slowly start to unfold. What kind of mind you have? You are having some knowledge. What kind of knowledge it is? You have certain memory. What is the nature of that memory? And from there you are getting into all these different states, right? Painful, not painful. Also we have to see that pleasant experience. So what is the status of that? Going to unfold one after the other. If these modifications are stronger on the mind field, when it is not stopping, the fluctuations are continuously happening, the association is with the fluctuations, strongly connected. Vṛttis sarūpyam itaratra. The cessation is not happening. If the modifications, the fluctuations of the mind is not stopping, what is happening? that seer, that person strongly associated with the vṛttis, whatever the thought process happening. So I love this situation, this place, this person connected. I believe this practice, I believe this God, I believe this heaven, I believe the life after death. I believe money will bring everything. I believe success means big house, big car, fat bank balance. I believe I have to be beautiful all the time. I believe the people around me need to look upon. I believe I am not going to die. Various ways, right? It's all that vṛttis ārupyam itaratra. Because the fluctuations are not stopping, the modifications are continuously happening, and we don't really experience, we don't really see what is happening when these modifications are stopped. What is that nature? We don't know, we don't experience it. Or even if there is some glimpse, we don't look into that. So the association with these fluctuations is continuously happening. Then this klishta, this fivefold modifications, we have been associated with that, and the life going on. So your involvement, your interest, your attention, it is not separately you need to do anything. You just need to look into your thought process. When you get angry, look into that. When you get frustration, irritation, look into that. When you get any desire, look into that. And that observation, that attention is what this whole process, that's what this whole yoga practice is all about. It is not that you go to headstand and stay for half an hour, 1 hour. It is not about kumbhaka, retention of the breath, long duration. It is not about 2 hours, 3 hours of meditation practice and going into samadhi, long samadhi. That is not the purpose. That is the way, that is the path. Because we want to know, we are giving attention to these modifications, the nature of the mind, then these are all happening along the way. That is not the destination. So we need to have that clarity. That's what I want to emphasize. So it is not something you spread the mat, it happens. It is not something separately you need to study. It is nothing but observing, giving time. Like we saw last time, give some secluded time. Just for yourself. Give that quiet, calm time. Just to look into this thought process. Then whatever we are doing, you are listening every week. Along with that, you will see. You are able to relate when you are able to keep observing that. Which we study, we continue through the coming sessions. Now also I will link whatever we are doing here, which I will link to the pranayama practice and to the meditation practice. And when you combine this practice over a period of time, I hope we all get better clarity. But I can't bring the interest on you. I can't make you to give the focus or the priority for this. So that you only need to ask, you only need to question, you only need to see. So which you will see through other sessions. If any question, you have any question on pranayama and meditation also, please let me know. Because we don't give much time during the practice session to clear the doubts. When someone don't even have the basic needs, like the abandoned children who is recruited young and fed, then given teachings which is misleading, leading to war, etc. The children, due to gratitude, emotional attachment, continue to fight due to the selfishness of other human. Who is at fault here? How can they ever get liberated? As I said, every religion says love all, right? Do good, be good. Almost every religion says. Where we have to start with? We have to start with the people, our own people first. Our family members or friends, they may be looking for some help. They may be longing for love. They may need your support. But when it comes to the people closer, the first thing what we do, judgment. You are doing this, because of that you are suffering. You do this, then it will be all right. You have all the things for you, but you are not doing this, that's why you are not getting it. So why I have to help? Why I have to support? It may be anything, simple thing or huge thing, whatever it may be. So anything we can do to the people nearby, starting from the family, starting with the friends. When we are, every individual, when we are focusing in that way, when we are doing that, within our capacity, whatever can be done, without judgment. The whole topic of this judgment, we will study in the vṛttis, it will come. We will understand that more, and how we are really spoiling the whole structure, the social structure, because of that. So whatever the intention of one person, one human, harming the other person, aim is the same. Do good, be good, love all. But the concept is different, methodology is different, and because of that, various things happening. We are not in that position to change, to bring some kind of technique or method to make them to see what is the reality. A lot of exploitation in many ways, politically, in the name of religion, many ways happening. Okay? But if we really look into the root, how it is started, whose fault it is. Logically, if you see that any religion, when the religious people fighting each other, or within the religion when they are fighting, whose fault? Who has started this religion? Who has given this teaching? It's all started from there, right? Then we can say teaching was different, interpretation was different. From the interpretation, then many factions. Like this, it's a lot of split, and it becomes power game. So it is endless. We can't really come into any conclusion or solution. Also, please keep this in mind. We can't change anybody, which includes your own spouse, your own children, your own friends and family members. Why? We are already struggling ourselves to change. We want to change. How easily we are able to do? It requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of trial and error. I'm able to do certain time, afterwards I'm not able to do. So this constant conflict, constant challenge, that's what ourselves facing in the life. So because of religious conditions, organizations, political setup, in the name of nationalism, so many issues going on. Now we are going to see the whole world is going to run behind green energy, reducing the carbon emission, environment friendly products. Within this next 5-10 years, we can see that. The climate change is a huge issue. Global warming is really a biggest threat. We can't change globally, but what we can do? We can start from ourselves, right? Let it happen, whatever happen. But let me doing good to the people nearby. Let me care my family members. Let me care my friends. Let me support without asking. Let me stop judging. If we do that, things will change on its own. So all these issues we can't really do much, control much. I'm not worrying about or thinking about their liberation. My concern is, can you please stop and look into that? Forget about liberation, enlightenment, self-realization. Need to know what is the nature of yourself, who is the observer. Keep aside. Just stop, ask this question. Any religion, any master, any tradition. One question. If everybody giving the definition of the truth, how come various definitions are given? If you ask this question, it will lead to other question. Then you will understand the whole idea of this religion. You don't get that emotional attachment. But that is not happening. They don't really look into this simple question. Truth cannot be many. Truth can be only one. Everybody talked about truth. But various definitions, various explanations, various methods. Why? So, let us give attention to the people nearby. Attachment creates modulation of the mind. Commitment creates attachment. Does a commitment person suffer more? The modifications, it is not only happening because of the attachment. That's why these 5 types, right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imagination, memory, sleep, all coming into that modifications on the mind field. The fluctuations of the mind field is all connected with that. Attachment is actually byproduct of that, part of that. Commitment creates attachment. No, it's not true. If I say commitment or responsibility, not necessary, it has to bring attachment. The benefit, the enjoyment you are getting because of that commitment, because of that responsibility. That is what bringing the attachment. Suppose I ask this question. For your daily life. So now say that you have family responsibility or whatever other responsibilities. Whatever the commitment with your working place, with your family side. Say you need to spend your working hours. You can take care of your commitment or responsibility within 5 hours in a day. Over a period of time, even if you don't do that, if it is a workplace, you can let go also. Still nothing going to disturb your commitment or responsibility within your circle. Are you ready to let go? Let me ask the other way, economically. Now you have enough wealth. Let me say that you don't need to really work hard. Weekly once you work, it's good enough. Even that although not necessary. Now, this attachment comes, is it because you are enjoying the job or because you have to make the money? Or because of the social status you are enjoying? Or because of that busy life you are getting, that is bringing the fulfillment. We can see that various reasons we are attached with that. It is not the responsibility or the commitment. Because that is very simple. You can do, you cannot do. Necessary to do, not necessary to do. It will finish within a small circle. But other things attached with that, connected with that. That's where we get the trap. And we are so much identifying with that. Identification as a yoga teacher. Identification as a husband or wife. Identification as a father or mother. If you see that as a role, you are playing that role as per the requirement of that moment. Nothing about the past glory or future promise. This moment you are playing that role. That's it. But we don't really see that way. We are so proud when we are doing well, when we are doing what we are supposed to do. Some challenge, some reason or anything when we are not able to do, feeling guilty. Because not able to do, regret. Want to do, aim, desire leads to attachment. It's all come as a package. As we are looking into this thought process, this daily life, our experience, slowly we can see that how they are all making a grand alliance, supporting each other. Then naturally we are able to understand. Clearly we are able to see that. Of course, the challenge is bring that into action. We may know, we may understand, but still we run. Running faster to die. Nothing else. You can see that there are people talked about the welfare of humanity, changing the world, doing good to others, showing the right path, taking responsibility of the whole family, removing the poverty of the whole nation. So many promises. History after history. Country after country. Great leaders after great leaders. All worked hard. Changed also many. But everything is momentary. Everything is temporary. If you look into that, everything is keep changing. Yes, worked hard, want to change, want to bring that happiness, joyful to this whole country or wherever they are. But we can see that whatever the method, nothing is going to stay longer. But is it we should not do? Definitely we should do. Where to start? From us. Why? By seeing this clearly. Whatever I get from outside, not going to stay forever. The happiness or pain is not coming from others. If I am happy, I am the reason. If I am in pain, I am the reason. And whatever I am getting from outside, it is not staying forever. Pain also, not staying forever. Everything there is expiry date. So when I see that clearly, I change myself, my perception is different, then I am changing. It's not that I'm doing something to change. Just by connecting with others, with the same energy, with the same mindset, they are getting benefit by that. That's what we can do. All other things, yes, can bring the change, but it's all temporary, very momentary. So, when we meditate, when we practice asana, we keep this sutra again and again. Tadā, draṣṭuḥ, svarūpe'vasthānam. So, who is this seer? Who is this observing person? What is the reality of it? What is that svarūpa? When we have this question again and again, naturally it will lead. That is the mantra actually speaking. It is not just going to the temple or any kind of like religious place and doing some rituals. Nothing required. All supporting factors, techniques. We will explore continuously. Thanks.